call this meeting order, even though our attorney's not here. I think we can handle ourselves. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please rise and let's listen to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Okay, roll call, please. Here. Oh. Here.
Mr. Castillo is excused.
Yes.
Ms. Kelly. Here. Mr. Borough.
Here.
Mr. Spearman.
Here.
Mr. Murray.
Here.
Mr. White.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Mr. Long.
There.
Mr. Baysworth.
Here.
And Ms. Strange. Here. And also present, Chief Hinkle.
Thank you. Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. 1, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 8th, 2025, and 2, emailed to the Retrospect and Courier Post on January 8th, 2025. First order of business is the approval of minutes. A motion is in order for the approval of the minutes of the February 25th and March 4th meetings submitted by the clerk, as each member has received copies of the same. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Second. Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Murray. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes approved. First order of business we have this evening is a proclamation, National Donate Life Month, presented by Robert Bauer.
Either one, either way.
So what I like to do first, you want to do it together, or how do you want to?
Sure, whatever you want.
You want me to read the proclamation first? You want to tell everybody? Why don't you come up first and explain to everybody what we're doing here and the purpose of this action?
All right, I'm Bob Bauer, or Robert Bauer, whichever you prefer. I am a resident of the Borough of Runnemede for over 30 years now. I'm also connected with the Gift of Life, which is an procurement organization. Our daughter passed away back in 2014, and she was an organ donor, and that began our relationship with the Gift of Life. I volunteer there a couple mornings a week, driving their shuttle, which takes the pre and post transplant patients to and from their hospital visits, takes the family to and from hospital for them to visit when the person who has received or isn't received the transplant is in the hospital. We do many other volunteer type activities with them, and April is National Donate Life Month. And last year, thanks to my friend Wendy over there on the end, and that's Colleen too, we contacted the Camden County Commissioners, which I think you guys know at least one of the Camden County Commissioners.
We know them all.
Her name starts with a B and ends with a Betteridge, right?
Yeah.
So we went to the Camden City Hall last year at right around this time, and they presented a proclamation from the Camden County Commissioners recognizing April as Donate Life Month, and I've been in communication with Beth Miller on and off over the recent last few months, and her and Wendy got together and got all the I's dotted and T's crossed. So here we are tonight, and let me tell you, first of all, Mayor, thank you very much. Council, thank you very much. It is much appreciated, and it will probably hang in the headquarters building at 3rd and Pallid Hill, which is 1 block away from the Palley's house, which is where the transplant patients and their families can stay at a very minimal charge while they go through their transplants and post-transplant and follow-up visits also. So I'd like to thank you all very much for agreeing to do this, and it's a great honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Very good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read the proclamation. So from the Office of the Mayor, National Donate Life Month. By becoming an organ, eye, and tissue donor, one individual can save and heal the lives of more than 75 people. During National Donate Life Month, we honor the compassion and generosity of registered donors, donor families, and living donors. We recognize the commitment of medical professionals, researchers, national partners, and all of those who work tirelessly to save and heal lives through donation and transplantation. Whereas more than 103,000 Americans, over 2,550 New Jerseyans, are currently on the National Transplant Waiting List. whereas another person is added to the waiting list every 8 minutes. And on an average, 17 people die each day while waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. Whereas the most effective way to address this health crisis is to educate and encourage citizens to commit to the following actions. Register your decision to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor in the National Donate Life Registry at registerme.org or your local motor vehicle center. And learn more about living donation at donatelife.net. Whereas the Mayor of Runnemede, New Jersey, feels that the Donate Life cause of saving and healing lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation is of immediate and worthwhile importance. Now, and therefore I, Nick Capados, on behalf of the Borough of Runnemede, do proclaim that Runnemede, New Jersey observes April as National Donate Life Month. I do want to add that I have been on the Donate Life list for many, many years. And I know some of the other members on council. I think Mr. White just told me that he is also. So I think it does work at the MVC. I think it makes a big difference. It gives a person an opportunity discreetly to make those kind of decisions. So I think this is a great thing. Not to get too personal, but my sister-in-law was on the wait list and she didn't pass before she was able to get one. So it is something important. So let me hand this to you guys.
That's an all too frequent occurrence, Mayor, that people wait and they wait and it never comes.
Yes.
This is also the 50th year of the Gift of Life organization, and they're attempting in this year to register 50,000 more organ donors so that number will go down or go away.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Sure.
Nice to meet you. You get a picture of Bob?
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Council. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Yes, you don't have to.
I don't make complaints.
We'll come back next month.
Yeah, next time.
Good night, bye.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time.
Cool.
I have it, it's okay.
Okay. So the first order of business this evening, now we do have an audience, we have a lot of members from the audience. Before we get started, because I don't want to take anybody, we're going to do a budget presentation. Are you guys here for the budget presentation, or was there some other just at the end of the meeting? You want to speak? Okay, we'll wait till the end of the meeting, because the budget's a little bit long. Yes?
Yeah, we were just here for the Runnemede sports.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can talk, okay, if you're okay, budget's important then.
Yeah.
So you can hear how we're doing. So I'm going to turn this meeting over to our CFO and administrator. She's been cracking the whip to get things done, so I appreciate it.
Somebody sit behind.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
If I have a question at the end about the budget, will Shelley be able to hopefully answer that question?
Well, it's an
Would that be something
introduction.
that we can address?
Potentially. I mean,
Okay.
we don't, really, this is our beginning of our public portion of the presentation. So yes, you can absolutely, right? Absolutely ask about it.
Yeah, this is the first process.
This is the first process.
It's the introduction, but there has to be a public hearing prior to our adoption.
Yes.
Which would occur next month, I believe.
So this is just an introduction, and then everybody's supposed to digest it. But if you have a question at this point, I don't think it's a bad idea to get it done. So unless you, yeah, Shelley, if you'd like to start it.
Okay. So this is a summary of our 2025 budget.
A little bit closer with the mic. So we can
Yes, sir. Okay.
accentuate.
So, our first sheet is just going to describe 1% of the increase right now is purely just for the reserve fund collected taxes. It's a little bit higher this year, so we had to increase that by $62,402.
Wow.
Our next sheet's just gonna, I can't really see that too well, can we? This will also be on the website for everyone to see. You can see it in the user-friendly budget, you can see it in the presentation. It's also going to be in the actual budget document. There's 3 different versions. It's across all 3 of them.
Do you want to highlight anything on this screen?
It's a comparison of the current and prior year revenue and appropriations. It'll show both on 2 different sheets. It'll just give you a snapshot of a comparison of last year and this year's budgeted appropriations and last year and this year's budgeted revenues.
Now, all members of council got a copy of this, right? So I want to make sure the audience knows we all did get copies.
Yes, everyone got a
So it
copy
was-
of it
yeah.
to see it. The largest, probably, not probably, definitely, the largest comparison between the 2 is our capital this year, and we'll go over later exactly what we're budgeting on the projects, which coincidentally mostly is for our recreational facilities this year. Our next sheet shows you a breakdown of our estimated tax rates for county, school, and our actual for municipal. So every year, the only thing that we can do is estimate for county and school because they will not have theirs complete yet. The municipal is the actual, and the library is actual. Library is dictated to us by the state through an actual calculation. That is not something that we have any control over. The municipal rate is ours, so that one is the actual rate for this year. The rest is estimated. Generally, every year it comes in a little bit lower. I can't say that for sure, but usually we are pretty accurate with what we come in with on their estimated numbers coming in a little bit lower than what we estimate. So, but like I said, we can't guarantee that, but we try to estimate a little bit higher on the school and counties. On the next slide, you'll see a breakdown of the percentages of your tax dollar, how it's broken up by each entity. Schools make up 50% of your tax bill. The county makes up 20%, municipal portion is 29%, and the library is 1% of your tax bill. So when you hear a cent increase on the tax levy, what exactly does that mean? $50,854.47 is 1 cent increase on the tax levy. It's not really that much. I know last year we went over how we figured that out. It's very easy to figure out. When you look at our net valuation taxable, which this year it's $508 million, you would actually just put a decimal point at the end of that number, move it 4 places to the left, and that's how you figure out what our 1 cent penny increase is on our levy. So for every $50,854, it's basically going up 1%. That's how much we get for our increase in the tax levy every year. So for every $50,000, your tax bill is going to go up 1%. We can go to the next slide. This is a breakdown of our department allocations for total appropriations. This will just give you a general idea of how much each department is taking up a percentage of the entire budget. It's just a general breakdown of everything. Insurance, as usual, is taking up a pretty good portion of our budget. It's going up every year. It's no different than your home, your car. Workers' comp still is going up. General liability is still going up. So we have 14% of our entire budget for insurance. Capital improvements is 3% of the entire budget. Debt service is always about 10%. So that's remaining about the same as it always is. Police, 18%. Administration, legal, engineering, economic development, 7% of our entire budget. Pension costs is remaining about the same at 9%. Recreation, public works, and building department, 8%. Solid waste and recycling, 9%. Really, everything's about the same as what it usually is. No major increases there all across the board as far as total appropriations of the budget go. This is a breakdown of your entire tax bill for the municipal portion of our budget. It'll tell you how much of your tax dollar goes to each department. Yeah, if you want me to run through each one,
No.
we can skip to the next slide.
I think everything that says should be clear to everyone here
It is.
is that we basically use a previous year's budget, and we have, minimal increases in each one. I think what maybe this evening is special is the fact that we are going to be spending more money investing in the community this year, more than we normally do in capital improvements and things like that. So when you get to that part, maybe we can be a little more detailed.
Okay. These, again, this will be on the website. It's just a comparison of last year and this year. The only difference with this page is it's the actual money that was realized. And what that means is the actual cash that was brought in last year, not what was budgeted. So that would show a little bit of a difference from what you would see previously in the slides. The same thing with appropriations, and what we do, what the state requires us to do here is combine our sewer utility with our general appropriations here. This is what we started to look at last year. We want to make sure that we're keeping kind of an even flow with just constant increments instead of large dips throughout the years. This way we have a nice even run with appropriations, with our municipal budget. That way it remains steady and it's not so hard to keep things even.
I do want to stop you so everyone knows again is that if you look at that chart, there were years where we had no increases on the municipal level, and we were able to save money in what's called a cap bank. So if you don't raise one year, it actually allows you in a subsequent year to raise, because if you might have made a mistake and didn't do it. Not that I want to say we're lucky that we have this cap bank to use in years when they are tougher, and as you can see, these past couple of years, we are going a little more steeper up. But I will say that it's just the times we're living in right now. If everyone knows, the cost of everything has gone up, and we do not have the ability to cut anywhere. I think we've been very lean for a long time. The departments, I think, would all say that we've been very tough on all the departments, keeping their budgets down, but these past couple of years, we have no choice. So there is an increase this year. I want to make that clear. It's larger than we normally do, but it is in line with what we're allowed to do. Not a big fan, but I think Shelley brings out the point that if you do a little bit increase every year, it's better than one large increase. The only thing I've always used the thought that we should always be as conservative as possible and then raise as needed. So I think, these last 2 years have been tough.
So given what the mayor has said, the state does allow us to bank what's called a levy cap bank. We're allowed to bank what they call the amount to be raised by taxation. We're allowed to bank some amounts that we don't use every year. And what we have expiring this year that we did not raise taxes is $523,396. This, basically what that means is we should have raised that, but we did not. And
Not should, we could have raised it. We could have raised
We could have.
10% more than what we are paying now. So I think that is important. So in the past years that we've been very aggressive to keep the taxes down, we could have raised it. As Shelley said earlier, 500,000 represents 10%, right? 50 cents is a penny. So 10% we've kept off the books. And I will say I appreciate that the law makes it expire, because, the people of this town will never pay that $500,000. It's going to go away. Now, the only way we can raise taxes above what is allowed is we went to the voters to ask for a larger increase, which we are never going to do. So, I just want to be clear. It was not a could, it's a, or should, it's a could.
It's, a cap bank is only exceeded, we're allowed up to 3.5% every year.
On the appropriation
That's-
side.
That's generally not
Yeah.
that much. And we can bank for up to 3 years. So that is our expiring amount from 2022 that we did not raise.
We're going to need a larger font next year.
We are, yes. So this is our surplus balance. We generally don't keep much in there. That is how we fill in the gap of the revenue that we don't pull in every year. So this is what we use in order to keep from raising taxes if we don't have enough to use. That is the amount that we have to continue to fill in with the amount to be raised with the tax rate. And flip to the next slide. We supplement our budget with grant money. We apply for as much as we can. So all the projects that we use, we can supplement salaries. We have several projects going on between our Clean Communities grants, with our recycling grants, our open space we can use for several recreation projects. CDBG grants fund some road projects. NJDOT grants fund most of our road projects, if not all. And upwards of $200,000 to $300,000 each for the NJDOT grants. We have several other grants that we have right now in progress, but the funding is slowing down. We're continuing to apply, but we're doing the best that we can. Our next slide, we also work with our neighbors through shared service agreements. Oftentimes that saves us a great deal of money, but it also can contribute to the towns working together, which is a great idea. It helps with our staffing. We have multi-town agreements right now with our court, our trash collection, EMS, our sewer departments, public works, fuel, which saves several towns a great deal of money, our vehicle maintenance. The new court multi-town agreement in 6 months has saved us $48,370, and instead of 2 employees, we now have 5. So not only did we join 4 other towns, 5 other towns, but we have gained several more employees to do that with. And it seems to be working well, huh, Chief?
Yes, very well.
So right now, that seems to be going extremely well. Our next slide. These are several ongoing projects and projects we've completed in the last year. Our capital budget this year is larger than we usually do on an annual basis. Our main project, I think, that we're looking to do in the next year is lighting for the recreation fields, sport fields. We've had several improvements across many of the fields over the last 12 months. And Scout Building, I believe, is complete.
They had their first event. I saw the photos. It was very well attended. I thought that was great.
It looks beautiful inside.
Outside looking good too.
Siding.
Siding's done.
Completed.
We are working with the state on pedestrian lights on some of the state roads, county roads. We completed some construction in the building. We have more that we're working on. Harry Williams Building, we have done a lot of improvements there over the last year, and we have more coming. It's mostly recreation facility improvements that we're working on over the next year. It's all, we have several road projects, obviously Davis Road. That's hopefully wrapping up soon.
Hopefully in my lifetime.
But that is one of our biggest projects right now, environmental. Anything anybody want to add that?
Do you have the capital where the money's going? Is that on one of these? Do you want to at least elaborate? Because what the CFO is saying is that we normally borrow, say, anywhere from $800,000 to $1 million, million and a quarter. This year we're doing $2.5 million, which is the most I think we've ever borrowed.
Since I've been here.
Yeah, well, I think ever. I don't count the sewer project because the sewer project was an infrastructure project with the help of the state. But this is us borrowing our own money. Hopefully it'll be supplemented with some of these grants, like redoing the pickleball court. We're getting almost $70,000. Hopefully we make up the difference. The scout building we funded, but that's, there's maybe a little bit more work helping out with the softball fields. So is everyone in the audience otherwise here? So we got some preliminary numbers, and the reason we asked you guys to help us out with making decisions is because we had to prioritize what was most important. So if one field was more important than another, we needed to hear that from the organizations. So how we're going out for bid, we have a certain amount of money we have. And when the bid goes out, if we can do field 1, great, field 2, great, field 3, we'll just keep going until we run out of money. And the only thing I can hope for in following years, we can come up with money to continue the project. Because we're gonna do all our design work now, we just have to figure out how to fund it. And that's how we've done things in the past. And sometimes it's difficult. You might, do a part of a job and then have to tear up some of it to continue it. But I don't know any other solution sometimes, but to take small bites. Because otherwise, if you understood that if our tax rate is every $50,000 is a 1% increase, if we borrow we have to put 5% down. So this is probably the largest amount of money we've ever had as a deposit on our year. We have $125,000 we're doing as a deposit on that loan. Well, that represents 2.5% tax increase, which would mean no increases on anything else. So, but for everyone who doesn't know, the reason we're also being very aggressive is it is our 100-year anniversary. We are trying to do things for this community that will last much longer than all of us. I think we have to always think about the future and what we're going to do. I know I get questions sometimes why we always think about the future, but I think you're only supposed to think about the future. I'm just saying I'm not making, the lawyer, our attorney always thinks that, that's not always typical. Most of the time you think about today. And while today is really important that we pay our bills that we have for today, I think we always have to think about the future of how we're going to do that. And it is hard to think about the future. But I don't mean to keep jumping in, but the only thing is that this has been a long process. As anybody knows, this has been years that we've been working on this. And there's been a lot of problems that we've dealt with. And, this is something we need to get done. And I hope that everybody accepts the fact that some of the costs and some of the, discomfort everyone's going to have, we're going to get there to get it done. Shelley?
Yes, obviously, we touched on the sewer utility project, and you talked about the Centennial. We have several projects that we would like to get complete over the next year, like the mayor mentioned. The total increase over the next year for municipal purposes will come out to $135.45 for municipal. That is a 7%.
So I want everybody to hear that. That's a 7% increase on our 29%. So we have the regional school in the back and the local school in the back. So I'm asking them to be as kind as possible when the borough has difficulty.
You know the back right there.
We proposed ours in two.
Very good. I appreciate that. So if you do once again, everyone, if you do a weighted average, which is a little complicated, but remember, 7% on the 29%, 2% on the 50%. Hopefully the total doesn't hurt everybody so much. I think the county's always trying to be aggressive in keeping their rate down. So hopefully it's not too much on everybody. But as you said, as we've said, we haven't raised taxes much in the, I've been on council and mayor now, this is my 17th year, and I think we've always been very aggressive. For the 17 years I've been here, every administration, every council has always tried to keep taxes down. And there's only been a few years that we've gotten, beat up a little bit. 08, I think, was the worst year, if anybody remembers 08. The chief remembers 08. Councilman Murray remembers 08. So we had some tough times. So we're way past that. We pay our bills, we keep our staffing levels where they need to be, and we've tried to keep the cost down. So hopefully everyone supports this. We have a month to digest this, correct? So there's a public hearing. So if there's any questions on it, if you want to, ask some more questions about it, recreation is here. We're thinking about what we can do to keep improving this. This. That's why I think start off with progress. What was your line? I like that. Continuing progress. What was the first page? You forgot it already. Your tagline. Where progress continues. So I will say, to make everyone feel a little bit better here in the audience, that when the new homes come into our community, Ashbrook Landing off of Hartford. We are talking about between 30 and 40 million dollars of an increased assessment to the community, which will help pay our bills to do that. The hotel being converted will increase because we have a pilot program, it's going to increase our revenue. The cannabis has been doing excellent in our community. I think we have two very professional companies, right, Chief? We have no issues, and I think they pay their bills, and it's been excellent, and they've been good neighbors, and they're paying, we should see upwards of $150,000 a year from them, maybe even more. Where else is money coming in? So there is some of the stuff that we planted years ago is finally coming to fruition. There are hopefully some more buildings go on in town. There's approvals for some other projects. A project on Clemensburg Road, we're hoping that little apartment building gets built. On the Black Horse Pike, some stuff. You know, I think Runnemede's going in a direction to keep, you know, people hate when I say we're a built out community. We don't have 1,000 acres. My friends in Gloucester Township, they're building 3,000 units. All of 10 now. Well, at the time when we first were talking, the planning board had 3,000 in front of them. Just so everyone can put it in perspective, that's every house in this town. They're building it again. So it's really a wild thing to even think about and stuff like that. But I don't mean to be, you know, this isn't just a monologue. You know, any members of council have some questions for Shelley before we continue? Maybe we'll take a few questions from the audience before. I mean, everyone knows where we're at. I think we kind of talk about things all the time. Okay. Well, did you want to ask a question at this point? Or you want to wait till the public portion?
Maybe I should wait because I kind of have a few things
Okay.
about that will lead up to.
No problem. The public portion is open to everyone to speak.
Thank you.
Okay. At this point, would you say the presentation is closed at this point? You feel good?
I interpret that as a yes.
That was a yes? Okay. Well, then, at this point, then I'm going to move on to the next part of our meeting, which is the first reading for ordinance 2506. As was outlined in the budget presentation, we have a bond ordinance this evening authorizing various capital improvements, acquisitions for various capital equipment in the sum of $2,640,750. Whereas the borough will be borrowing $2,515,000. We put down 5% deposit in our budget to these improvements. And as was outlined, those improvements are everything from recreation. There are some vehicles, I believe, for the police department, public works. There's improvements inside the building. There's improvements everywhere in the community to get things done. Anything else?
And software upgrades.
Software, things like that.
The online permitting and licensing.
Yes. Police department did get a new roof last year, so hopefully they're doing okay. A few cars that are,
Fire department's getting some equipment.
and fire department's getting some equipment too.
Police department's getting some.
I thought there was some stuff for police. Chief, do you remember what you were getting? What was on your list? Yeah, was it guns? Guns. Guns and computers, okay. So, had a little bit of two different things. So at this time, would someone like to make a motion on this ordinance?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Murray, second by Ms. Kelly. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
Mr. Murray.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
And Liza.
All right, so we will have a public hearing and a second vote on this. There may be changes, however, to do changes, we have to go back to the state, so obviously we try to do as much as possible now before we do it, because the state has to approve it. If everyone knows, the state doesn't do their budget until usually the last minute in July. So we have to wait for them to approve. That's why everyone's tax bills are always late, because the state doesn't do their budget on time. Okay then, we have our salary ordinance. So also coinciding with our budget, we have a salary ordinance which gives a minimum and maximum of all the pays for every position, so that we can pay people appropriately. Everyone has a copy of this. Would someone like to make a motion to adopt this? Or is this the public portion? No. Oh, this is first reading. These are still first readings. This is first reading for salary ordinance 2507. Someone like to make a motion to approve this?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Shapiro. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
Mr. Murray.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Keep going. I'm going to group some of these, can I?
I was just
Yeah,
doing that. So you can do 59 on its own, 60 on its own, and 61 on its own, and then you can group 62 through 60.
265.
That's
Okay.
66.
266, okay. So we're going to start off with Resolution 2559, which is for the governing body certification of compliance with the United States Equal Opportunity Commission. Would someone like to make a motion on that?
I'll make it.
Motion by Mr. Farrell, is there a second? Second. Second by Mr. Murray. Roll call, please.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Wade?
Yes.
That resolution is adopted. Resolution 2560 is for local examination of the budget. This is the process of, I guess, our audit, is that correct? Local examination?
No, 2 out of 3 years we can do a local examination, the third year the state exam.
Okay, this is us doing it again. Okay. Would someone like to make a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Here, second by Ms. Kelly. Roll call, please.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Wade?
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 2561 is a resolution, introduction to the 2025 budget. Would someone like to make a motion on introducing the budget?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Murray, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. White. Roll call, please.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Wade?
Yes.
All right, that resolution is adopted, and now we're going to group resolutions 2562 through 2566, but I will read them out by title. Resolution 2562 is amending 2555 for correct property maintenance liens. Resolution 2563 is distracted driving grant. The police have been awarded a grant of $7,000 for distracted driving. Very good. Resolution 2564 is employee appointments for the Public Works and the Police Department. The names are Harry Wozok is now our full-time C2 operator. Congratulations. Vincent Persichetti is Labor 1. And in the Police Department, Shane McCormick as SLEO 1. What's that? I saw it. Congratulations. Well, we'll see, Vincent. We'll see. And Resolution 2565 is a release of guaranteed bond for the route for the 195 Runnemede Associates. This is the warehouse where classic car seats and ABC Supply. Would someone like to make? Would someone like to make a motion on to approve those ordinance or those resolutions?
I'll make the motion.
A motion by Mr. White, second by Mr. Shapiro. Roll call, please.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Wade?
Yes.
Those resolutions are adopted. Which is the one over? Oh, I missed that. Oh, there were 2 of them.
I think you grouped it, but you didn't read it. You said 66.
All right, I'll do one more, be technical. All right, Resolution 2560, so they had 2 bonds. I'm sorry, I didn't realize there were 2, release of guaranteed bond, so.
That's a typo.
All right, so what am I reading?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's my
Valley
fault.
Community Foundation.
Check mine. Resolution 2566, a resolution authorizing the acceptance of a donation by Valley Community Foundation to the Borough of Runnemede Police Department for the purchase of AED equipment. Very nice. In the amount of $4,009.60. That's great. How many units are you getting, Chief? 2 units? Start. Okay, great. Would someone, congratulations, Vincent.
Thank you.
Take care. Would someone like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2566?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Farrell, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Shapiro. Roll call, please.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
And Mr. Wade?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to go through committee reports, finance and construction.
Going to be brief, we had our budget presentation. I want to thank our CFO for all of her hard work. Everything that gets done in this town goes through her office, and I know I appreciate it. I know everybody up here appreciates her hard work. The construction offices still has moving parts, I'll say that. I was advised today that Ashbrook Landing, the first building, may be applying for their COs within 30 days for the first building, which I found very impressive. I walked through there on Sunday, and the drywall was up, so they're really moving along well. Other than that, if anybody has any questions about, this is kind of a side note, anything about the La Quinta, I see a bunch of stuff on Facebook and online, just reach out to me. I know what's going on there, and I can tell you the truth of what's happening.
People are lying on Facebook.
So believe it or not, there's lies on Facebook, so, but just if anybody has any questions, I do have a contact, those, you can reach out to me and, with that.
Well, I'm hoping with our website, we can put some more things on there. Sam sent a nice color picture for us.
Yeah.
What kind of things do we need to say? The details about it? Do we need to?
Details, there's a lot of rumors out there about the, who's going to be, you know, the cost of the units, how much it's going to be, whether it's going to be low-income housing.
Okay.
And stuff like that. There's all kinds of rumors flying around.
There was an article in the Courier Post today, I don't know if you saw that, about this. So it does briefly say about how many units, that it used to be a Ramada, and it was all market rate things. But I think I sent Beth a nice color picture that Sam sent us.
That'll help.
And we'll put that up there, and any information you think we need to, if people are saying something,
Okay, I will.
we'll add that.
Okay, thanks.
Very good.
Is that progress?
All right, thank you. Okay, public safety, Ms. Cowan.
Thank you, Mayor. The police department had calls, 1,044 calls for service this month. And tickets, 261 were issued, 55 arrests were made, only 7 hours of overtime. There were 17 motor vehicle accidents, and Narcan was applied 2 times. Thank you, Chief. Thank you for the little bit of overtime there. I know that you really work hard to keep that down. It's amazing when you figure there were over 1,000 calls for service. Our fire department had 32 calls. Within Runnemede and the New Jersey Turnpike, 30 of those calls, and 2 for mutual aid. The fire company was awarded $2,500 from Wawa for apparatus portable scene lighting. The equipment purchase is pending. The $600,000 Booker grant has been rescinded due to the congressional spending items not being included in the budget. The information was resubmitted to FY 2026. That means it'll be considered for next year, and we did a resubmission. Our fire marshal had 85 inspections and collected fees last month of $7,318.21. There were 6 fire investigations. So that's an interesting amount of investigations. And that is my report, Mayor.
Very good, thank you. Okay, since Ms. Passio isn't here, but I know she'd want everybody, remind everybody about the Easter Parade. Chief, again, that's 11 a.m. it starts. Do I have that correct on my notes?
I think it's 12.
12. All right, I put 11, so I'm not late. So 12 o'clock, thank you. So I'm not late, I put 11. Okay, and the Rotary egg hunt is before. Okay, so just let everyone know that. Engineering, Mr. Brown.
I'm going to go with focus report.
Okay, thank you. Public Works, Mr. White.
Thank you. Public Works, they're working to getting the R-Wide fields ready. They're doing a nice job up there and just all their stuff around town. Public Works doing a pretty good job. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next time I'll remember to introduce Harry in our caucus meeting.
Yeah, you go.
Sorry about that. Okay, Parks and Rec, Mr. Shapiro.
Okay, so
You're not letting me change my calendar here.
oh, just, council members, whoever's gonna make the parade.
Oh, the parade.
Let me know, so I can let them know.
Yes, yeah.
On the 12th at 12 o'clock, right?
I'm not going to be in the parade, but I'm going to be.
No,
Meetings at the field, you'll have to walk.
At the field, right. No, I'm not going to walk.
You gotta walk the whole. Yeah.
So what time you want us at the field?
Around 12.
12?
Around 12 also.
Rich, I would do 1, because we're gonna leave bowls at 12:30. So sorry.
Oh, 1 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm changing that also now. Okay, well, thank you for all that, that was good. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Solicitor's
I do have something to
Oh,
say.
boy. Everybody sit down.
It's actually good news. Normally I report bad news. If council recalls at our March meeting, you authorized me to file a declaratory judgment action regarding our fourth round affordable housing obligation. That was filed the day after our meeting, and this past Friday, the court granted our declaratory judgment, locking in our affordable housing obligation. No one challenged it, so we can proceed with the next steps of the plan as Mr. Bach set forth at the caucus meeting. I believe it was in March. So another step in the right direction in that regard, Mayor. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. This is my favorite. Engineers report.
I'm going to rely on the report from caucus, other than we did submit a proposal to do our engineering design on a DOT project for Johnson Avenue. Shelley's been too busy for
Turn the microphone on. Johnson Avenue?
Johnson Avenue. We had submitted a proposal outlining 2 different options for how to spend the grant money for design purposes. So hopefully at your next caucus meeting, you'll be able to approve that and start the design and get that advertised for bids.
And don't forget the lights and the addition on the building.
We're working on that.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
Davis Road,
Yeah.
what's going on? I thought we were supposed to start this past Monday.
They're out there doing concrete work on the dead-end streets.
Yeah, you're not seeing the work, but it's, as Councilman Mary said, they were pouring.
They're pouring concrete aprons and driveways to get them ready to receive the asphalt. So in essence, smooth
The
transition.
3 dead-end streets were widening, so they have to move concrete aprons back. So that's what they're working on.
So there's
right
no
now.
curbs, no sidewalks, but the aprons have to match the elevations and the locations. Yeah.
And starting on Monday, they're going to be doing some curbs on the Barrington side of Davis Road. And then after that's done, they can do the mill and overlay of Davis Road and do the reconstruction of the 3 dead-end streets.
So we're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel?
We're getting there, and we're still waiting on PSE&G to finalize all their electric connections so we can get the pump stations up and running.
And you've seen them working out on Davis and on your, they were on every. Things are moving.
I have
however.
people coming to my house that live down there. And they're coming to my house and they're going to be asking me questions.
My name's
So,
on the door hanger, so I'm getting all sorts of calls, so I'm trying to keep people away from you.
okay.
And just tell me it's progressing.
It's progress,
Yeah.
and it's definitely happening.
And once we know, they'll reach out to the police department, once Davis Avenue is going to get paved, so we'll be able to try to communicate with everybody when the paving's going to happen. Because it will be difficult on Davis.
Well, you know, we'll put up with anything at this point in time.
And everyone will forget after it's done, so. Okay, Mark, was there anything else?
Thank you, Mark, I appreciate your help.
All right, payment of bills. Would someone like to make a motion to pay the monthly bills?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll say.
All right, motion by Mr. Murray, second by Mr. Farrell. Roll call, please.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
The bill shall be paid. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak, please come to the microphone and state your name and just town of origin now. We're recording you
Yeah, she can.
for posterity.
Hi, I'm Sam Larm. I'm from Runnemede, New Jersey. I'm the vice president over at the RYAA. So thank you guys again for the lights. We're very excited about that. We've also have a final master schedule of where all the teams are on all the fields. So we will get that over to you guys. We did switch some of the teams to make more of the teams play on that majors, minors. Senior field will be perfect game and some other field rentals, but a majority of our fields are now going to be by the snack stand, majority of the games. We have renovated the snack stand. We did some painting in there. We did the flooring. We got the approval from Mike Kearney, so we are good to open our, we're going to do a soft opening on the 6th when we do our spring cleanup. And I'll send you guys some pictures. We've painted in there. It looks great. Cleaned it really good. had someone in there literally scrubbing the walls, so we put a lot of work into that to get it looking nice. And then for our opening day ceremony, we are going to be presenting a banner to our District 14 winners from last season. So we have a banner that's going to be presented to them. They don't know. They are going to be doing the first pitch, and then we're going to present them with that. So it would be a good opportunity. It's going to be something that's going to go on the side of the snack stand. It has all the kids, coaches' names, and everything. So that's exciting for opening day. Yeah.
So a few questions.
Yes.
So one that's really important to us is obviously financials from you guys.
Yes, so we do have that as well. We have our executive meeting on Thursday. Our own board is auditing for our previous year as well before we submit our taxes. But then we do have all of our previous financials every month when we have our meetings. We present to the general meeting, this is everything that we brought in and this is everything that we've spent.
That's perfect.
So we have all that as well. I'm going to get all of that and send it over to you guys so you have that as well.
And another thing that's important, obviously, comparing years is great because that always shows which direction things are going. And even with how many kids are involved, it makes a big difference for us. It helps us. As you heard, the Scout building is back open again.
Yes.
And I believe, what was the number, Harry? 88 kids had joined? I mean, it was a tremendous number. You don't remember? Okay, so, and that makes a big difference for us, knowing the uses. So that was the one thing, financials and that. And then
I do know for our soccer program, just baseball, I think the numbers have pretty much been the same. Soccer from last spring, we had 92 registrants. This year, we're at 141 at the moment.
Wow.
So we definitely are growing just even from 1 year.
Excellent.
Yeah.
'Cause that helps us make decisions.
Yeah.
And things like that. And then the other thing which helping us make decisions is, like especially on your revenue side, because putting these lights up.
Yes.
I was speaking and understanding that if tournaments were to happen, things like that, and I'm not just saying about baseball, obviously soccer, all the other sports, but what could be brought into town if we did have these lights to be able to keep justifying, as Councilman Murray says, people are going to question us why we're doing things. And the more information we have makes a difference. And then also even the fact of the skin in the game type of mentality, where if the organization is contributing, it makes it easier on us that we're not doing it. So it's great that you're doing all this thing with the building. The only thing I would say, just like we said with the Scouts, you got to remember all these buildings are borough buildings. So as long as Public Works has some idea, because, and like you said, Mr. Kearney, and that's great, because especially fire, we don't want to do anything that sacrifices public safety. That's the only thing we said very clearly when we turned the building over to the Scouts. Same thing with you guys. You're there to run these buildings, run these fields. We're here to be supportive. And same with the Scouts and same with the girls' fields and stuff like that, and the soccer fields. So, no, I'm glad you're here. That's great. And hopefully we're going in the right direction, right?
Yeah, I mean, even in this past week, we've just from the organization side, we've put out almost, I would say, we're about $8,500 we've put into organization just this week, and have some more stuff to order and get everything started. So we got new soccer nets for soccer. We still have more soccer nets that we're ordering.
Great.
They're a little expensive to get from Canada, so we got high tariffs for them. So they're on their way.
These soccer nets are from Canada, really?
Yes, yeah. They're nice metal ones. They're adjustable. They can be used.
Okay.
So making sure everything's good. But we appreciate all you guys are doing.
No, great.
Thanks.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good evening.
No problem. Anyone else wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address.
How are you?
Good.
My name is Dawn. I'm Dawn Luchler, Runnemede resident, live on Sunset. I'm actually here to talk about the trap motor and release program.
Okay.
That, I don't know if many of you know me or not, but I've been over 15 years running the program, Barrington, Maui I help Belmar.
You've helped us.
I help you. So you've had the ordinance for, I don't even know how long now, but there's no program I have no volunteers. It's Pat and I. Whenever there's a problem in town, I'm usually one of the first phone calls. Animal control calls me, I work directly with them. We have a current situation going on with one of your residents. I know you're aware of it. And Matt reached out to the rescue that I actually, am very involved with.
You're talking about Sergeant Woolen?
Excuse me?
Sergeant, which Matt?
Woolen.
Yeah, okay, Sergeant Woolen, that's right.
He reached out to Community Capital, who is not really responsible for, running it, but is willing to help.
Okay.
So over the years that I've been doing this, I've tracked on multiple Forest Avenue, Pine, Metropolitan, Acme, many hours and many cats, no cost to the borough. There's been grants at Homeward Bound. We've been able to do most of the spaying and neutering there. I know that now we don't shelter with them anymore. We're with Voorhees Avenue. They do not have a TN program.
Is that they don't have it?
So anybody that gets picked up obviously goes there, stays for a week, and gets either spayed or neutered and re-released, because we do have an ordinance, so they are allowed to re-release cats back to non-breed.
But in this particular case, wasn't it excessive what was going on in that particular property that we're talking about?
Not excessive compared to many other locations that I've taken care of. I
Okay.
mean, if you look at that.
Well, you might know see excessive different than my excessive.
Third Avenue, I'm over 40 cats up there.
40 cats.
40 cats.
Okay, so I wasn't aware of that on
So-
Third.
And there's, once they're spayed and neutered, they're not procreating. So.
No.
And right now, I think that, time is of the essence with this problem that, going on with this resident.
What are you looking for us to do?
I don't know what, kind of money you have available for, in your budget for.
I actually like to address that. We budgeted $5,000 3 years ago for this program, and it was never used. And we moved it into a trust account to be used for a TNR program, and it still hasn't been used.
So it sounds like there's $5,000. Is there a proposal that we would need?
We have now set aside a portion of that for the exact situation that you're speaking of, that for a cost that we were given by a specific program. But we had $5,000 sitting aside for a TNR program that
Well, we've been able to be,
nobody's
run on
used.
grant money and, different things that have been available down at Homeward Bound. A lot of that's not available anymore. And I think that, when you have to go in and, track, I'm looking at probably maybe 15, I have 15 appointments next week.
How much does it cost per
It's about
cat?
$50 per
So
cat.
$50?
We get spayed and neutered.
So with the 5,000, we could do up to 100 cats. Is that what you're assuming in a year?
Should be.
I mean, we don't read.
That's what we were told 3 years ago when the money was.
Well, the money's there, so the question is how do we get it to get this done? Is that what you're asking? How do
Right,
we-
and, obviously, the rescue is going to put the money up front and pay, the spay neuter clinic that day of service, which is planned for next week. I mean, it's kitten season now. These cats are 65 days gestation period. These cats are all getting ready to have kittens right now. And those, say 15, are going to turn into a lot if we don't, and it's not.
Now, we didn't get all the cats at the property we're talking
We're
about?
going
That-
to try
Okay.
our hardest.
Okay.
Go in.
Do you need any support from us at this point to go get those cats? Are we good on that?
Just
Sergeant Holman was trying to work with animal control.
Animal control doesn't go in and actually trap cats.
What's he's charging us for that.
They'll drop a trap off, but it's up to the homeowner. But I don't know if you guys are
Speak.
aware of how it works.
I don't know how much I can say.
Why?
I'll stop you if you're in the territory, because there is pending
I
legal.
have correspondence that states otherwise.
Well, let's not get into that part.
When complaints are filed, I mean, obviously, the police officers have to follow through with them when there's a formal.
Well, are you willing to go down there and try to help get these cats out of here? Do you need any funding from us to help you get these cats out of
So I
here?
just need to know that after we, do this and I submit, to.
All right, do we have any of the funds available if Dawn is able to go grab 10 or 15 of these cats?
And the location that she's speaking of, I encumbered a purchase order specifically.
For that contractor? What if he doesn't get them? So he's going to get them.
But he has to open his door and allow them to come into the room.
Do you have a relationship with this property
I've
owner?
already been known as a.
Why don't we try to work this out?
The rescue is working with Officer Rowland and the animal control officer as well. I'm just,
Yeah, so one thing I know about contracts is we can void a contract if you have to. Void the PO if we're not going to get satisfaction. And if Dawn is willing with her organizations to help, maybe we can expedite this, because I appreciate what you're saying. We're going to be in trouble and very quickly if we don't do something. So, and I'm hoping our resident is going to be open. If you say you have a relationship with him, that would be great.
He's going to, help with the process.
And right, Chief, that would help Sergeant Wallen, get...
Sergeant Wallen's doing everything he can. I
He's
guess,
allowed to,
that.
right?
And he can, yes. And
But if the contractor is not moving, we all know that contractors, it doesn't always work out. Let's move on. Sally, speak.
let's not get too much into the specific situation.
I don't mind speaking, well then speak after the meeting then, but you
And I
know,
worked with Matt.
He's in the barn.
Matt many times. I mean, he's the hero officer. He's actually supposed to be, advocating for these animals as well. He is the humane.
Well, let's not, I don't want to,
He
I
is
think we
the humane
should.
law enforcement officer for the state.
He very much.
Correct.
The borough has been doing everything that they can to assist.
Want me to come down with you?
Work that out. I can work that
Operating
out.
funds.
whatever we can do. And if you need any help,
As long as there's funds available to pay for these taxes.
are you hearing that? She's saying,
Lights have been there.
We understand.
no, stop. It is there funds available. If she gets 15 cats and it costs $50, $750 is available. You heard that?
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
can reach out to me if you have any questions.
okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Anyone else wishing to speak? Yes.
Mayor and Council, my name is Jim Whiteside. I'm a resident of Runnemede for 40 years. I believe I was here 2 months ago requesting a street light at Patricia Lane and Harley Avenue. I was just wondering what the progress is, if anything being done. Because now, the street light is out at Mitchell and Patricia Lane. So now we have double darkness.
Chief, did you get a chance to look at that corner?
Yes, I see.
Why don't we put that on then for the next meeting? I apologize. Did you, well, this is a public meeting. I can do it right now. What, do you give a recommendation to put the light up there, Chief?
Yes,
Okay. So what we're going to do before I close the meeting, we're going to add a resolution on to add a light for that corner, unless there's no objections. No? Yes.
Why don't we bring the motion to the table and then open the
You want to do that? You want to ask a question?
No, the question, you said both corners.
No, that's a light that's out.
Oh, I see.
So that has to be reported. Do you know how to report a light out?
One's out now, but there's no light at all.
Right, I'm
It's
sorry.
right at the
So you're
end.
requesting the light on the corner. If the chief feels that it's appropriate, we can put it on. The light that's out, there's two mechanisms to do that. One is you can go online, PSE&G has report a light out, and all you have to do is walk out, look at the number,
I did.
type it in.
I already called.
Okay, they're on their own schedule with us.
And it's been,
But we can
it's
do
been
this
a
one.
month since I've been out.
Once again, you heard earlier, we've been waiting for months for them to run wires so we can plug in our pumps at the end of the streets. You know, so we can't tell you how quick the public utilities, it's always an argument with public utilities. But if there's no objection, I don't have any, I think we trust the chief and looking at that. We'll take care of it right now. What was the address again? For the light, Patricia Lane and what?
Mitchell, Patricia Lane and Harley.
Patricia Lane and Harding.
Just as you're going down Harley Avenue, straight ahead is a pole right there, but there's no light on it.
Okay.
They don't even have to put a pole on it.
So chief, we might have to get that poll number to make that formal request. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public?
Go ahead.
Oh. About.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what
Paula Sutton, Runnemede. As long as we're talking about PSE&G, what's happening in front of CBX? You know, with the caution tape?
The light pole, I think, Chief, the pole got hit. And I believe they replaced the pole, and then the other pole get removed. So I think there was an accident there.
Okay, because I still see caution tape.
They might have lifted up the sidewalk. Did anybody notice that? I don't know. I mean, typically that is up to the responsibility of the utility company to do any of that, repair the damage.
And we go out, we report on the accident, make all the notifications, and they handle all the other stuff.
So it's all right for me to call PSE&G and say,
Please,
okay.
call them.
And the more that call, the better.
The more that call, the better.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Maureen Mansell, there's an excess of 60 scouts between the boys and girls now, and they all showed up and were sober as shit.
Yeah.
So I speak on their behalf, but they posted the cleanup meet.
I saw the signatures.
They truly appreciate it and hope that the majority of you will come out to the grand opening that they're planning.
Yeah, we did speak about that at the caucus. After everything's kind of, they're settled in, we'll have something.
Patty suggested that they actually, like, forefront spearhead it and then just invite.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
There's 250 plus basketball players, so in addition, sure will be used.
250.
Just saying.
It's okay. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Just let me know.
Sir?
Wait a second. Mr. Bucciaroni promised me earlier at the county meeting, which was why I was late, that he would have something.
Come on up. Come on, you gotta come talk.
Do your song. I'm calling you out, Mr. Bucciaroni.
You know, I never go to your meetings. Can we start coming to your
Why do you
meetings?
question Mr. White? He's been too...
Holy cross.
Someone.
It's great. Corey Lawson.
You never need a microphone.
Kevin Bucciaroni, Gloucester Township. It's nice to see you're investing into your town.
Good.
Investing in the public works is an investment into your community. Thank you for investing into your youth sports, but they are our future.
There you go. Thank you.
God bless you. And the cats.
Politician.
It's the first time I've ever heard he's elected official other than a politician.
Okay. Seeing there's no one else from the public, is there a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Farrow, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Shapiro, all in favor? Aye. All right, the public portion is closed. Is there any other business? Oh, my business. All right, we're going to do resolution, almost forgot. Resolution 2567 is authorizing PSE&G to put a street light on the corner of Patricia Lane and Harding. Would someone like to make a motion to approve that?
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Mr. Shapiro, is there a second? Second. Second by Mr. White. Roll call, please.
Ms. Kelly? Yes. Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
The resolution is adopted. Now, once again, we're going to authorize PSE&G to do it. When they get it done, we have no control. It could be tomorrow, it could be 2030. So,
So more the call, the better.
the more the call, the better, I agree. So, at this point, there's no other business? Yes?
Just want to remind everyone to sign this before they leave.
Okay. So we do have to sign that we did introduce the budget, correct? Is that what that is? And you want to remind everybody about the financial disclosures were all sent out today?
Yes, everyone should have gotten an email.
So the sooner you do it, the better. So we don't have to find the code again and all that.
You will get reminders if I don't see you got it.
Okay.
You have
We'll
until
get
the
it.
30th.
We'll have it to the 30th, I'd say 30 days.
May, June, July.
April.
April.
Only 1 month,
You can go to May, but.
you know.
I have two things.
All right, if there's no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. White, is there a second? Second by Mr. Murray, all in favor? All right, we adjourn at 8:10. Thank you.